is a member of the Asteraceae family, a species of solidago or goldenwood, Asteraceae being sunflower family. And it has gone to seed, and you can see its preferred method of seed dispersal is by wind. See, it's got these very feathery-like organs called pappus, and these are very easily taken by wind, and they'll fly off, and wherever they land, it's where the seed will hopefully germinate and sprout a new plant. This is a giant, ancient plutonic igneous rock. Plutonic meaning cooled underground or formed underground, and igneous meaning it cooled from a liquid state. So this was once liquid magma under the ground that cooled, and then eventually, at some point, this rock got pushed up, and it is now at the surface. You can see the individual crystals or grains. Generally, the larger the crystals, the longer the rock took to cool down, or the magma took to cool down. I'm looking at these crystals. They're definitely pretty large. I'd say it's got a phaneritic texture. Phaneritic meaning the crystals are over a millimeter long, which that is definitely the case. Phaneritic is a rock texture type. There are many texture types. Phaneritic, aphanitic. We'll get into that later on. See, it's composed of mostly feldspar with some other amphiboles and minerals in there. Very ancient rock. Generally the rocks around here are Mesoproterozoic in age. So definitely over 1 billion years old. Very old. This rock has seen some shit. Oh. This is a gorgeous rock. Look at the crystal size on that. Definitely over 1 millimeter. I put my... Hey, do you mind? Some large crystals. This rock took quite a while to cool down. That is called phaneritic. This has a phaneritic texture. And phaneritic just means that the interlocking crystals are over 1 millimeter long. And that also means that this rock took very long to cool down. This was eventually magma underneath the ground. And now it's here. How far underneath the ground? Probably very far. Like below the ocean. Yeah, I could stare at this rock for a while. Just looking at all the interlocking crystals. There's definitely some, you can see some black minerals in there. That's probably some amphibole. Could be hornblende. Doesn't quite look like hornblende. It's a nice rock. It's a nice boulder. There, I just came across an example of a different texture type. So the two previous rocks would have been phaneritic, meaning the interlocking crystals are well over 1 millimeter long. But if you take a look at this rock, you can see how tight the grains are. You can almost barely make out the individual crystals. So definitely 1 millimeter under, some are 1 millimeter. So this would be aphanitic. This is an aphanitic texture type. But you're just always trying to ruin my shot, eh? That's okay. Hey, what's this? Yeah, so aphanitic. I'm gonna get it out of the way while he's gone. This is an aphanitic texture type, meaning it took a little less longer to cool, but it is still plutonic igneous. And all right, you know what? It's not happening. Just trying to keep track of which direction I'm going. North is that way. I'm headed west. Means I came from the east. Here's another kind of fine grain aphanitic. You can see it kind of changes in some spots. Here the grain is very tight, almost not visible. Like the crystals are very small. The further I go over here, the crystals get a little larger. And that can happen in some rocks, you know. It cooled underground, but not every part of the rock cooled at the same speed or same temperature. So some crystals had a little more time to form than others. So you kind of have a phaneritic mixed with an aphanitic texture on the same rock. Again, plutonic igneous, cooled from liquid magma underneath the ground. This guy, man. Hey, there's an entire forest, and you gotta be a foot away from me. You're lucky I love you. Jesus Christ. Anyways, you gotta be patient with geologists because they have their faults. Get it? Oh, you know what? I got another geology joke. Did you hear about what happened to the alcoholic geologist? Hey, Leo? Did you hear about what happened to the alcoholic geologist? Oh, he finally hit rock bottom. Ooh. The beautiful colors in the leaves given off by the chemical compounds. I believe it's beta carotene. Such a pretty fall color. That is a very young beech tree. Game trail. So right there is the mountain, and just in front of it is a lake, small lake. And then that way there's another lake, even smaller, more like a swamp. And it's all like boggy swamp area that connects the two. So like moose country, where I was just at. And then you got this nice pine woodland here. This little section of pine trees. It's all red pines, Pinus rubrum. And as much as this is a gorgeous spot to camp, it is a fire hazard with all the pine needles and pine duff and the tightly packed canopy. I just don't feel comfortable. So I think I'm gonna head out north, back where I was, and find a flat spot in the deciduous woodland where I can camp. Oh, did you find a spinal cord? Is that a... No, those are moose teeth. Hey, Lassie. Lassie. What are you doing? You little shit. Yeah. That's a moose jaw. Huge teeth, eh? Holy crap. Must have been a big moose. It's definitely old. Been here a long time. Here, you want it? Shazam. He's got the zoomies. I think he's just happy he doesn't have to carry a backpack. Save your energy, buddy. Yeah, this is a lovely spot, and it's nice flat ground, and it's all mossy, so it'd be nice to sleep on, but I want to have a good fire tonight and just don't want to risk it. This spot seems pretty good. Got like a little bit of high ground and it's super open. I think it's an old trail. So, I'm thinking about right here, but I got a lot of high ground that way. So I'm just gonna drop my pack, scout that way and a bit up there and see if there's, like on the ridge there, and see if there's a good spot up there. If not, then right here. Coming? Man, that was a steep climb. Whew. The hunting blind? It is too. Well, goddamn. Might as well just go camp over there. It's a nice view. Walking up here with my pack is gonna be a bitch. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go to the hunting blind because I'll go get my pack, reconnect with the trail, go that way, and then I'll end up over there. All right. Whoa. This is a perfect spot. I think this spot is as good as it gets. It's relatively flat. There's tons of leaves, so I can rake that up and make a browse bed. There's tons of firewood in this area. Birch trees not too far. There's one over there. And not only that, but if I set up a tripod here with the entrance on that side, then I can wake up to that in the morning, which, yeah, that's fucking amazing. All right. Yeah, it really doesn't get much better than a spot like this. All right, time to get to work. That's the area where my shelter will go. Then I'll have the entrance right here, so I can be looking out at this. Full view of that down in the mountain. And all this leaves and duff right here gets stuffed into a garbage bag, and that'll be my mattress. fireplace right out front. See, just a bipod, the ridgepole, and then I'll secure it. I'll get it all set up and adjusted and throw the tarp over and measure everything out. And then once I've done that, I'll secure the ridgepole to the bipods and we'll be in business.